All right, guys, so we gotta talk about Shaun King. Once again, we gotta talk about Shaun King, aka Talcum X, aka Thurgood Marshall, aka Pale Revere, aka Tupac Sugar, aka Alexander Scammington, aka Jaka Khan, aka Snow J Simpson, aka W.E.B. the Fraud. Okay, Shaun King, as he has faced renewed scrutiny and criticism because, just like Patrisse Cullors, the ex-leader of Black Lives Matter, has been found to be living high off the hog, buying lavish homes with some of that social justice money, right? Social justice money. And guys, I mean, this shouldn't be a surprise to anybody because, like I've said 1,000 times, all the money right now is in being woke, right? If you're a woke social justice activist, that is the easiest way to get money, especially if you're black, right? If you're black, also if you're a woman, bruh, that's easy. That's the easiest grip. That and OnlyFans, right? You get a BBL, you get a boob job, right? You know, if your face looks decent, you know, nowadays you can just hop on Instagram, you're a model, right? And you get on OnlyFans, hey, you're a professional adult star, and you can make way more money doing that. Right, 2021, right, has really led the way for a lot of people to become things that they probably otherwise would not be able to be without technology. And being a social justice activist and getting rich off of that is one of those things that is so easy to do in 2021, as long as you check the boxes, right? But Shaun King is a OG in this game, right? He's an OG in this game. And the OG really is not even trying to hide the grift, as allegedly last week Shaun King was asking for money for donations, right? Donations, because his wife was feeling a little stressed, right? His wife, who's, you know, a PhD, was feeling a little stressed. So he needed some donations to make her feel better. A couple weeks ago, then he goes on a social media hiatus, right? He's off of social media, right? I'm assuming he's vacationing out in the tropics somewhere off the donor money. Now, this article comes out. This article comes out about this home that was purchased in the name of his wife, the same wife that he was asking for donations for, right? And as you can imagine, people on social media are pissed off about this, okay? They're pissed. But I will say this, I mean, if you're stupid enough to donate to Shaun King's wife, that's on you. You kind of deserve to be finessed out of your money. You kind of deserve it. So let's read a little bit more about what's going on with Shaun King. Shaun King has built his image on being a champion of the poor and disenfranchised, but the controversial civil rights activist lives like a 1%er in a sprawling lakefront home, records show. King, 41, moved earlier this year from a luxury 2-bedroom apartment in downtown Brooklyn to the 5-bedroom, 3,000 square foot New Brunswick, New Jersey property with a lakefront backyard and gourmet kitchen, according to public records. The property, surrounded by lush, tall trees, was purchased by King's wife, Ratashnia King, a PhD candidate and educator, in November 2020 for $842,000, public records show. Now, people say, hold on. It's just 800 grand in New Jersey. That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing in New Jersey. And some people are right? That may not be a lot in New Jersey. I get it. But that doesn't mean it's not a lot in general, right? Like, it's definitely more than the average value of most people's homes, right? And for $800K in North Carolina or in the South, bro, you can buy a mansion, right? You can literally get a mansion for $800K, right? In the South. So I'm just saying, just because he's choosing to live up north in a place that's, you know, not as big as he would be able to get in a place like the South, doesn't mean that it's not a lavish purchase. I mean, I'm pretty sure most people would love to have an $800,000 house. Okay, just saying. King has been dogged for years by allegations of shady dealings in his charitable efforts and movements he has founded, including a lack of transparency in money he raised for several criminal justice initiatives he has backed. Okay, so as you can see here, this allegedly, you know, is the home that was purchased by him. It looks pretty nice, you know. Again, I think you can get something bigger in the South, right? You can get something a little bit more extravagant than that for 800 grand. But yeah, it's not a bad looking property, right? It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice for a social justice activist, right? For a socialist. That's also another part about this. You know, somebody that's supposed to be fighting against the evils of capitalism. They sure love the benefits of capitalism, right? Fellow activists and those who work with him raising cash for everything from Haitian orphans to families of black men killed by police have repeatedly raised questions about King's leadership and in some cases asked where the donations have gone. Samir writes, whose 12-year-old son, Tamir, was shot dead by cops in Cleveland in November 2014, blasted King on social media, accusing him of soliciting funds in her dead son's name without her permission and even about his own identity as black and biracial. Quote, person, I don't understand how you sleep at night, she wrote in an Instagram post addressed to King last month after the activist revealed details of a personal conversation he had with Rice. I never gave you permission to raise nothing. Along with the United States, you robbed me for the death of my son. You are a selfish, self-centered person, and God will deal with you, continued Rice, who heads up a foundation named for her son. King co-founded the Real Justice Political Action Committee in 2017 with former Black Lives Matter leader Patrisse Cullors, who resigned from BLM a month after the Post revealed she had spent more than $3 million on real estate in the U.S. The federal PAC helps to elect progressive district attorneys across the country to fight to end structural racism, according to a group's website, taking in more than $3.2 million from 2019 to 2020. I wonder if these people that donate to these so-called progressives, prosecutors, understand the consequences of their actions, right? Understand the consequences of having their people that are soft on crime, right, in these offices. I wonder if they understand the effects that's going to have on these communities that they say they care about so much across the country. I'm pretty sure they don't. Of those funds, Real Justice doled out $460,000 in consulting fees to 3 companies: Social Practice LLC, Burnell Alto LLC, and Middle Seat Consulting LLC, which are controlled by some members of the Political Action Committee, including Treasurer Rebecca Bond, according to a report. Other PAC payments include $46,330 to Janaya and Patrice Consulting, a company run by Cullors and her wife, Janaya Khan. Those payments were made between 2017 and 2020, according to the Federal Election Committee. So it seems that Shaun King and the Black Lives Matter founders, Patrisse Cullors, were working hand in hand, right? Working hand in hand to collect money and then to funnel that money to their consulting companies, right? In order to basically pay themselves, right? To get paid. Just saying. I mean, like, again, these social justice people, they're all in cahoots. They're reaping the benefits of capitalism by pushing for socialism. That's what happens. A former journalist and father of 5 who worked on Bernie Sanders' presidential campaign, King began his activist career after the August 2014 shooting of Michael Brown, 18, who was killed by a white police officer in Ferguson, Missouri, just a few months before Rice was shot while playing with a toy gun. Following the 2 shootings, King launched the Justice Together coalition to help raise awareness of police brutality and support Black Lives Matter in 2015. He quickly abandoned the group, the former member said in an open letter published in Medium, citing King's lack of accountability. He silenced dissent without productive discussion. He moved volunteers for speaking up due to his self-proclaimed paranoia. He repeatedly failed to meet his own timelines for his participation in the work and failed to delegate or discuss internally anything of consequences with the organization, wrote the former members. One woman who had donated $50 a month to another entity King founded claims the Justice That's All group continues to charge donors monthly, even though it was disbanded in the summer of 2015. It's kind of messed up. I just want to know how he was using the funds that had been auto-donated, tweeted the donor. Java Chick in 2018, when she asked King directly on Twitter, he blocked her. And then the next month, my mentions were filled up with people calling me a racist, a bitch, etc. Emails and calls to King, his wife, and media representatives were not returned. Okay, so, yeah, nothing super surprising here, right? Shaun King is being accused of not being transparent, as per the usual. But one thing I do want to talk about here is this idea of whether or not these social justice activists should be paid a lot for what they do, right? And listen, here's my stance on this. I think they should, but you also got to have some transparency, right? I think the biggest problem with Patrisse Cullors and Shaun King, people like that, is the fact that the way they conduct business is so sketchy, right? And also considering the fact that they went out of their way to denounce capitalism and to push for socialism, but at the same time reaping the benefits of capitalism, just makes them hypocrites, right? Makes them hypocrites. Again, along with the fact that they're not being transparent, it's one thing that you can say, okay, well, I'm going to pay myself a salary, right? I'm going to pay myself a salary of $100K a year to do what I do. I don't think people have a problem with that. People are like, okay, well, that's what you're doing, and your nonprofit or your initiative, whatever, right? All the donor money is going to, you know, help out these certain groups of people, whatever initiatives. That's fine, right? I don't think people necessarily have an issue with that. I think, what people have an issue with is the lack of transparency and the fact that these people are purchasing, you know, houses that normal people, even people that make $100K a year, probably can't afford. Right? If you make $100K a year, you probably cannot afford an $800,000 house, right? You just probably can't afford it. Okay? So that means that Shaun King is probably raking in more than that, right? He's probably raking in more than that, right? So is Patrice Cullors, right? In terms of what she was making doing her thing, okay, with BLM, right? She's making purchase of multi-million-dollar properties, which means that she's definitely paying herself, right, or getting paid lump sums, right, probably in the millions to be able to afford that type of stuff. And again, it wouldn't be an issue if, you know, there was a track record of success for what you're doing and that people can see, okay, well, the money's going out into the communities are getting help. Nobody can question what this organization is actually doing with the money. Nobody can say that, oh, okay, well, they're just, you know, funneling the money to themselves, right? But again, when you don't have that transparency, people start to think. People start to say, okay, like, where's this money going? Because I'm saying you're reaping the benefits of the money, but the people that you claim that you care about are not. And I think that's the biggest issue here. And I don't understand how, for the life of me, scandal after scandal after scandal comes out about Shaun King, but yet people still support this person. People still buy his books. People still donate to him money. I don't get it. I don't understand it. And this is why I say, guys, being woke is like currency. It's like currency. No matter how much of a scam artist you are, how much of an obvious fraudulent person you are, it does not matter. If you're woke and you're fighting for social justice, people are still going to throw money at you, right? Especially if you the right skin color, right? If you got the right ideology, right? If you agree with socialism, all that stuff, people just going to throw money at you, right? That's just what it is. So, you know, like I said, I am 100% not surprised to see that Shaun King is making purchases like this, and I honestly wouldn't have an issue with it if it wasn't for the lack of transparency, right? When you say you're fighting for certain causes like social justice, people need transparency, and there's just been too many people out here that is just claimed that Shaun King has either scammed them or he's not being honest, or, you know, he's doing something that's just not right. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.